Hi. This is Novel Admire. Welcome to my channel. Have fun. Reincarnated as the Hero Ring Chapter. Chapter 1, Prologue. Chase is a normal young man with a massive passion for anime. He has a secret hobby that was collecting anime body pillows. Chase has hundreds of them at his home. One day, he realizes that he hasn't had the newest body pillows for his favorite fall 2019 anime show. Chase wanted to buy it online, but he notices something. Damn, I don't have enough money on my bank account. I need to transfer some money manually at the bank. As lazy as he is, Chase still needs to get out to the bank and face society. After a few minutes of walking, he arrives at the bank and deposits some money to his bank account as suddenly a robbery happens at the bank. Alright, this is a robbery. Everyone on the floor. Chase and the rest of the people in the bank hear the sound of a gunshot or two. There were a few short screams when the robber released a few shots. Listen to me, or else the next shot will go through your skull. All of you guys better head to the vault. Touch no buttons or anything. Quick. Quick. Chase and the other people move the vault while the robber takes all the money in the bank. Suddenly Chase's smartphone rings as he has set the alarm on his phone. FBI. Open up. Chase's alarm was deafening as it startled the other robber that taking them hostage in the vault. Chase quickly turned off his alarm, but the robbers were very angry at Chase. The robber shot Chase using his gun. This is what happens to anyone fool enough to annoy us. Chase was lying down on the floor as blood coming out from his stomach. The other people were cowering in fear and could not help Chase. Is this how I die? Damn. I should never leave the house, and this thing would never happen. Blood keeps coming out as Chase's vision started to go dark. Suddenly Chase's vision went normal, but he started to notice that there's something wrong with him. He could not move his entire body. He also feels weird that he was not in the bank anymore. Chase sees that someone walks towards him, and the closer the person gets to him, the bigger it gets. A weird pop-up suddenly appeared in front of Chase as the person standing near him. Lion, level 19, HP, 1000, MP, 300, body, STR 15 100ths, DX 17 100ths, AG 13 100ths, Mind, Int 30 100ths, Perception 30 100ths, Charisma 59 100ths, Spirit, Magic 19 100ths. Resistance 0 100, what the hell is this? Is this a character stats? Chase was quite confused about the situation as his brain could not think what has happened to him. Young man. Are you here to buy rings for your adventure? If that the case, you have come to the right place as here we sell good rings that will boost your stats. A man's voice. Chase heard that sound coming from behind him, but he couldn't turn around. He began to speak, but oddly the sound would not come out. Could you show me the best stats booster ring you have in store, please? He heard those words from the person standing near him. It's made Chase wonder where the heck was he? Store? What am I doing in the store? Chase realized that someone behind him had lifted him. This is the best stats booster ring for adventurer as it would boost body stats by 20. But, of course, the price will be high as it will cost you 3,000 crowns. Sorry, I couldn't afford that much. My budget is around 1,500 crowns, so could you recommend me any good rings on that price? Said the young man in front of Chase. Chase feels that he has put down by someone as he began to realize something weird about himself. He tried to connect all of the clues, and he finally realizes it. I am a ring. How could this happen? Chase tries to recall what has happened, but he doesn't know what that turned him into a ring. Chase was very panicked as he tried to move and scream, but no one notices him. Chase recalls that the man behind him said, "Adventurer." He realized what has happened to him. I die after being shot by robbers, and I have been reincarnated in another world but not as a human but as a ring. Chapter 2, Reincarnation. It's been 2 months since I become a ring. I already accepted the fact that I'm not a human anymore and just a ring. I wish that somebody would buy me already and hope the person who bought me will take care of me very carefully. Within the month I managed to control the status bar of the people that came in the shop. It happens because there are just too many people on the store in the month and I hate the status bar keep popping up. Now I can select whether I want to check their status or not. One day, I saw a pretty woman with red hair entering the shop and asked the shopkeeper what the best ring in the store was. Of course, without hesitation, the shopkeeper recommended me as always because I am the best beginner ring for an adventurer. Many people do not tend to purchase me as I was quite expensive. Surprisingly, the woman bought me even though I cost a lot. I started to check my owner's status as I quite curious about her stats. Alice Steenson, level 12. HP, 800. MP, 150. Body. STR 10 100ths. DX 13 100ths. AG 13 100ths. Mind. Int 40 100ths. Perception 52 100ths. Charisma 77 100ths. Spirit. Magic 11 100ths. Resistance 0 100. Her stats seem average to me, but I think my owner was not an adventurer. Looking from the way she looks, it seems she was a noble daughter. But who am I to choose my owner as I just a simple ring that can't talk to anyone? Alice brought me to her home, and my guesses were right as she was indeed a noble daughter. Her house area was so big, and when I entered the house, my owner been greeted by their maid. When Alice entered the living room, I saw a man sitting down on a chair. Alice! Where have you been? We need to talk about your marriage. The man seems quite angry at Alice. Father. We already talk about this, and I don't want to marry Linchio. It seems that my owner has an issue with her father. Well, this scene was just like the anime that I usually watch. Some noble daughter doesn't want to marry her father's choice, didn't think it will happen here. I guess this is somehow related to you wanted to become an adventurer, do you? Alice's father started to stand up and walk towards Alice, he then put his hand on Alice's shoulder. I don't want you to become an adventurer and then die like your mother. I can't risk losing you too. Alice then take her father's hand and said that it was her dream to become a great adventurer like her mother. After hearing what Alice had said, her father was quite angry and took me. I had given you all of the luxuries. You still wanted to become an adventurer. He then tosses me outside the house. I was getting tossed very far by Alice's father, and I landed outside the Alice house. I was quite shocked about the distance that I have traveled, but what I worry about now was what will happen to me as I was lying on the ground. Chapter 3, World of Acres. Why did Alice's father throw me outside the house? I hoped that Alice searched for me. I waited for almost 20 minutes yet no sign of Alice. Suddenly a random young adult boy appeared and picked me up from the ground. I checked the boy's stats. Vicar, level 6. HP, 500. MP, 90. Body. STR 9 100ths. DX 7 100ths. AG 8 100ths. Mind. Int 30 100ths. Perception 22 100ths. Charisma 53 100ths. Spirit. Magic 3 100ths. Resistance 0 100. Most of the young adults I enter the shop was level 10 and higher, but this boy was below 10. It seems this boy does not wish to be an adventurer. Then the boy took me, and a few minutes later, I arrive at his home. I'm not sure to call this a home, but I guess they were poor. There was no house as they live in the dark alley of the streets. A lot of people were there. I think this is what you call a slum area. Mom. I found this ring, and I want to sell this ring to buy you some medicine. Then he gets a knock in his head, I already told you to stop stealing from people. I don't want my son to become a thief. She then took the ring from Vicar's hand and told him to return the call he stole. Mom. I didn't steal the ring, and I found it lying on the ground. He explains to his mother what happens. Vicar's mother told him to find the owner of the ring as the owner was probably looking for it right now. She also told Vicar that don't worry about her as she is still doing fine. Vicar then left to find the owner of the ring. I thought that I would end up in the store again, but luckily Vicar's mother told him to search for my owner. Vicar looks at me, and he tried to put me on his finger. I guess this is what the adventurer usually wears, the stats booster ring. This ring sure looks nice. Well, I take that as a compliment. Yeah, I know I have a nice design. Even though he can't hear me, I still reply to the praise. Suddenly Vicar started to look around as he was looking for something. No one here ... but I'm sure that I hear someone talking to me. He then scratches his head, confuses about the voice that talks to him. I realized that maybe he could hear me, so I tried to talk with him back. Do you hear me? If you do, the one that speaks to you is me, the ring. Vicar then looks at me. Is the ring talk to me, or I started to go crazy? I said yes to Vicar, and he was not crazy. Vicar was pretty surprised about me and started to talk about me. He was curious because he never thought that a ring could speak with him. I explain my story to Vicar as he listens to it. He says that reincarnation does exist in this world, but according to history, it happened 100,000 years ago. People call it the destroyed era because that were when most of the humans died fighting the demons and the destruction of the world. Vicar says that most of the history about the destroyed era vanished in the rebuild era when the humans tried to rebuild the world from the demons' destructions. It seems like this world is full of mystery. Chapter 4, System. Tell me more about this destroyed era? What happens? I also don't know much. I'm sorry. Why? You should know your world history. For peoples like me, we don't know much about our world. I began to wonder what he means by people like him. I was confused and asked him what he meant by that. What I meant is that we are the poor people, most of the noble call us the slum dwellers. I remember that Vicar had brought me to his home earlier. I feel stupid as I should have known what Vicar meant. Vicar continues to talk. Only the nobles can attend the academy or school to learn about the history of the world and other things. The slum dwellers know the common history of the world. I feel sorry for Vicar. I never thought that the world was like this. Hey. You never told me your name, Mr. Ring. Oh. My name is Jace. Vicar then asks me about my owner's looks or name as it would help him to find the owner, quickly. If I'm not mistaken, she is a beautiful lady with red hair and her name was Alice. Vicar's face was pretty shocked after hearing the name. He stops moving and stands on the spot. I began to notice that something was wrong and quickly ask him why. Alice Steensons. Vicar stuttered with his tone. You do know my owner. So let's hurry up and take me to her. Vicar seems to know something, but from his face, I could tell that something was wrong. What's wrong, Vicar? I'm sorry. I can't take you back to your owner. I was shocked after hearing what Vicar said. He then was about to remove me from his finger. Vicar. What's you're doing? Stop. Vicar throws me away in the streets and left from there. He runs very fast as a few seconds later, he vanished from my sight. Once again, I was here on the street, alone. I began to think about why Vicar throws me away. If there's something wrong about Alice. From his reaction before, I could tell that he was scared when I say Alice's name. I kept thinking about it for hours, but I still don't get it why Vicar threw me. I don't know how many hours I've been here, but I was already getting darker. I feel tired and hoping that when I wake up, someone has already picked me up. In my sleep, I feel somebody was touching me, and I quickly open my eyes. It was just a cat that touching me. I was about to go back to sleep, but I noticed there's something wrong with my vision. There was a red dot on the top right corner. It seems like this thing appears after I was asleep. I began to think about it and focusing hard on the red dot until the red dot opens up some sort of notification menu. Notifications, system install complete. What is this? Chapter 5, Initialize. What the hell is this system install? Other notifications appear. Notifications, system reboot. After I saw the text, my vision went darker, and then I can't see anything at all. I'm kind of freaking out as I don't know what had happened. I tried to scream for help, but I soon realized that no one would hear me unless somebody put me onto their finger. Damn. I should never open my notifications menu. I was angry at myself as this would never happen if I never open it in the first place. Suddenly, my vision was restored, but something else was in the way. Some sort of an unknown text was blocking my view. Question mark? Ring level 1. XP, 0/100, stats boost, question mark. I can't understand what was that. I found it's very annoying as it interferes with my view. I wish I could translate it or change its language. Another text appears on top of the weird book. Select language, a language selection? How did it appear? Nah, how do I select the language? There was nothing to select. I was very frustrated. I then said that I want something that I would understand, like the English language or the Chinese language. Language selected, English. I was so surprised by it as I don't know how I select the language. The language selection then fades from my vision. I can finally see what on my site again. Insert name, level 1, XP, 0/100. Stats boost, select. I now understand what it means, but what should I do with it? How do I insert the name? I thought for a while and finally figured it out. I just need to say some commands as I did with the language selection options. Insert my name. I tried to say it, and it works. Select insert name, please insert name, ... What name should I put in? I began to think for the perfect name for me. Naming it using my name will be pretty weird. Almost 15 minutes wasted just for me to come up with a perfect name, and I finally found the perfect name for myself in this world. My name in this world will be called as Ruse and Power Ring. Error, name too long, auto-generate, the Athos seal ring. What? How could my name be too long? It should be shorter than the generated name. I then realized that the system thinks that my name is my name in this world will be called as Ruse and Power Ring. Can I rename it? I don't like that name that much. Well, I should try it. I then say rename, but nothing happens. The system just kept telling me to select the stats. Please select stats. I guess I should accept that it is my name in this world. Now I just need to select the stats. Select stats. Error, can't load pre-built stats, pre-built creation disabled, manual creation active, entering stats build. All of my surroundings turn blue as I see one word in front of me. Initializing, hi. This is Novel Admire. Thanks for the visit. Chapter 6, Creation. Current stats preview, body. STR060. DX060. AG060. Mind. Int060. Perception 060. Charisma 060. Spirit. Magic 060. Resistance 060. Minus 50 abilities points added. The system has just given me 50 points. I must distribute the end equally. I then started to think of something important as I was just about to add the points to my stats. Why do I have stats if I'm a ring? I began to ask myself a question. It was bizarre for a ring to have stats. But the thought was gone after I realized that I am a stats booster ring. Now I know why I have stats. I guess I will distribute the point equally as a normal person would do. The distributions must be equal as I really want to be a balanced stats booster ring that will boost my owner's body, mind, and spirit stats. Current stats preview, body. STR660. DX660. AG660. Mind. Int660. Perception 660. Charisma 660. Spirit. Magic 660. Resistance 860. I was delighted with the distributions of the stats as I think it was really balanced. The reason why I put the resistance point more than the other stats was that in this magical world, most enemies would use magic spell instead of a weapon. It will make my owner has more resistance to any kind of magic attacks. I don't know what to do next as the stats build option was still opening up even though I already distribute my point. How do I close it? Should I say exit stats build? Suddenly another pop-up appear in front of me. I was really surprised by it. Talent and skill still not configure, are you sure to exit ? Current data will be saved, yes. No dash, what there's more to do. I think for a while, and then I choose the no options. The system then closes the current pop-up and resume with the recent stats preview. But I still don't know how to access the talent and skill menu. The only thing I could try now was to say a random word that will somehow give me access to the next menu. After a few minutes of saying random stuff, it's still stuck at the preview stats menu. What other words that I didn't say? I began to think and keep trying my luck. It continues for a few more minutes until I finally figure out how to access the talent menu. Apparently, I just need to say stats build complete. Finally. Now to choose my talent. Saving stats, system loading, loading talent built, accessing talent, minus 13%. It took quite a long time to finish the loading of the talent menu. I have to wait around 5 minutes just for my system to finish loading it. Minus 100%, manual talent built. I was overwhelmed by the talent menu. It has so many talents to choose as it making me hard to choose. I need to read every talent description as I want to select the best talent for me. Chapter 7, The Talents. I took a few minutes to read all of the talents that my system had given me. Sprint, lock dash, greater than allow users to gain a 70% movement speed for 20 minutes and remove any speed reduction effect on the user. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 7 hours. Purify, lock dash, greater than allow users to gain immunity to any kind of spell for 6 minutes and removes any buff or debuff that been applied before using this talent. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 14 hours. Heal, lock dash, greater than allow users and party members to instantly recover 15% of their health, gain a 3% movement speed for 20 seconds. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 15 hours. Execute, lock dash, greater than allow users to kill enemies that have below 20% of health instantly. If the user uses this talent with an enemy that was not below 20% of health, it will just give 180 damage and 1.5 seconds of stun. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 32 hours. Disrupt, lock dash, greater than allow users to disable any magic casting within a 10-meter radius from the user for 15 seconds. Increase user perception of any magic caster nearby by 30% for 8 minutes. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 14 hours. Enrage, lock dash, greater than allow users to gain 60% of attack speed for 3 minutes and damage boost by 10% for 1 minute. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 9 hours. Punish, lock dash, greater than allow users to deal 300 damage to an enemy instantly if the enemy manages to deal 5% of damage to the user. The affected enemy will also lose 26% of their attack damage for 3 minutes. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 16 hours. Teleport, lock dash, greater than allow users to teleport to the last visited town or city instantly. One people will only use the teleportation. This talent can be used upon any party member. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 24 hours. Magister, lock dash, greater than allow users to cast any spell without any cost of magic instantly. The users also gain 30% of armor increase when casting a more extended spell. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 24 hours. Daze, lock dash, greater than allow users to stun all enemies within a 5-meter radius for 0.45 seconds. The user also will deal 40% more damage to the first 2 enemies. After the talents have been activated, the user may use it again after 18 hours. Notifications, the talent's effect and cooldown will have an increase if the users and the wearer have leveled up to a specific point. All the talents were pretty good, and the effect and the cooldown will be increased if I and my wearer level up. It made me think for a while, and I decided that I will skip this talent menu as it may be a bad option to choose now. The talent will be useless if my wearer classes are different from what I had chosen. So I guess I better know my wearer class first, then I will head back to this talent menu again. Next is the skill menu. Chapter 8, The Skills, I. The skills menu was too complicated as I don't understand any of it. The skills menu was quite different from the generic skill menu that I usually play in my games. It took me quite a while to get the grasp of this skill menu. I finally understand that this time the system offers me 4 major factions that I don't know about. Each of the factions will be granting me some passive skills. Each of the factions also has its class recommendation. If the user class was fit with the skills, it will give the user a huge advantage. Drna, locked, suitable for night, etc., greater than skill level I, blessings, locked, equals additional resistance and damage reduction by 25% when HP drops by 45%. Hit, locked, equals next normal attack deals additional damage by 10% when successfully hit an enemy. Treader, locked, equals gains movement speed, HP regen, and magic regen by 8% while not take damage. Greater than skill level 2, companion gifts, locked, equals each party member that successfully hit an enemy will give the user an HP boost by 2%. The effect then disappears when the fight was finished. Regrowth, locked, equals improved any healing effect on the user and party member by 22%, additional armor defense by 10%. The effect then disappears when the fight was finished. Greater than skill level 3, Wanderer, locked, equals regenerate an additional 40 horsepower and 20 magic per 5 seconds when entering combat. The next attack slows enemy movement speed by 50% for 2 seconds and reduces enemy damage by 30% for 4 seconds. Turn a shield, locked, equals stacks when taking damage. At max stack 2020, remove any debuff and instantly restore 50% of health. Gain immunity to any kind of damage for 1.5 seconds. Nature Rage, locked, equals when the user or any party member health drop by 75%, gains a temporary boost in defense by 60%. Also, increase any chance to get a critical hit by 40%. Demon, locked, suitable for assassin, etc., greater than skill level I, Raging Inferno, locked, equals normal attack will inflict more damage by 15%, also inflict burn damage by 10% for 8 seconds. Shadow Blade, locked, equals make you undetectable for 20 seconds and gain 4% movement speed, deals extra damage by 12% when managed to strike an enemy while using this skill. Devourer, locked, equals every successfully hit to an enemy will restore 7% of HP and 2% of magic. Greater than skill level 2, Bone Runic, locked, equals gains 20% of resistance to any kind of magic and increases defense by 20%. Deadly Hit, locked, equals gains huge boost, 20 to 30%, in normal attack damage and 18 to 22%, magic damage. Greater than skill level 3, Demon Awakening, locked, equals any skills under Demon faction will be boosted by 50%. The effect can be applied within the user party member, but they will only receive skills cooldown. It only can be used by one person. Curse of Death, locked, equals when the user or any party member only has 1% of HP left. The user or the party member will not receive any damage by an enemy for 50 seconds. But after the skills have been used, the user of the skill will get a debuff in their stats by 40%. The effect can be applied within the user party member, but they will only receive skills cooldown. It only can be used by one person. Desperate Battle, locked, equals if the user health has only 20% left, the user will also receive a 100% boost in their stats for 50 seconds. Regenerate health by 11% with every successful hit for 14 seconds. Chapter 9, The Skills, 2. Agrest, locked, any class, greater than skill level I, Arcane Wisp, locked, equals receive an additional 7% reduction in talent cooldown time. Crest Blessing, locked, equals immune to all damage for 3 seconds. It also gains 20% movement speed for 5 seconds. It can only be triggered once while in combat. Mark of Crest, locked, equals grants immunity to all damage for 1 minute but renders the user immobile and unable to attack. Greater than skill level 2, monster killer, locked, equals any normal attacks will kill any monster that has less than 5% of HP. Damage multiplier, locked, equals killing the same race of monster will give a boost the user damage by 8% per monster slain. Stacks up to 6 times. Greater than skill level 3, crest boost, locked, equals additional 50% EXP bonus to the user and 20% to the user party member. Endless cycle, locked, equals resurrects the user when killed but after the user revives, the user will not gain any EXP for 1 week. It can be used only 3 times. Orion, locked, suitable for a mage, etc. Greater than skill level I, light of sacrifice, locked, equals deal an extra 10% magic damage to the enemy but the user will receive an extra 5% of damage. Magic refill, locked, equals recovers 8% magic when a spell successfully hits an enemy hero. Sacred blob, locked, equals all the user's spell will gain an additional 10% cooldown reduction. Greater than skill level 2, holy bless, locked, equals user will receive additional healing by 16% while getting healed by other people. Holy verdict, locked, equals immobilize the enemy for 45 seconds and reduce their movement speed by 20% for 1 minute. Greater than skill level 3, sacred protection, locked, equals when the user took huge damage in a short time, the user will gain a shield that will protect the user from any damage for 60 seconds. The user also receive a 22% stats boost. Holy thunder, locked, equals enemy that has been hit by the user spell will get stunned for 10 seconds and this skill also boosts the user's next spell damage by 70%. Holy summoner, locked, equals summons an ancient fairy to help the user in a battle for 1 minute. When the ancient fairy is on the user range, the user casting time will be reduced significantly. After reading all of the skills that been provided to me by the system, I once decided to wait and see what my user class was. I could only choose one of these factions now. If I picked wrongly, the skills would be useless. I guess I will decide later. Talent and skill still not configure, are you sure to exit ? Yes, no dash. I say yes and the whole menu began to close as the system only shown me one word in front of me that was saving. It took quite a while to finish saving. Saving, complete, returning the vision, all the words finally disappear from my eyes as I can see the world once again. But then, I realized something was wrong as I was not in the street anymore. Chapter 10, Thief. I realized that I was in some other place. I could not look around that much as I was placed on the table. But I did notice that I was in someone's home. I also noticed that 2 men are standing up in front, and it seems like they were talking about something. I listened closely to what they are saying. Today sure is our lucky day, right? One of the men speaks as the other man approach me and pick me up on the table. Yeah. You right, we are quite lucky to find this golden ring. As I was getting tossed in his hand. I am sure the boss will be happy. After all, we did manage to steal some items from the nobles plus this golden ring that we found on the street. They both started to laugh as the man that tossing me around put me back on the table. They continue to laugh, but they suddenly stop when another man enters the room. I can't see the man clearly as he was wearing a cloak. Do you think I will be pleased by your effort? The man wearing the cloak shouted both of them. I'm sorry boss, but we did. One of them responds, but the man wearing the cloak quickly interrupts it. You guys barely managed to escape from the noble mansion. I also heard that the guardsmen of the mansion saw both of your faces. We are sure that the guardsmen didn't saw our faces. The man replied with confidence, but I could see that his body was shaky. Didn't saw your faces right. I believe you. He then pulls out some sort of paper from his cloak and shows the paper to them. It was both of the men wanted posters. After seeing the paper, they just stand still as they try to explain to their boss but they stutter quite a lot. You know what happens when someone fails their mission, right? They immediately apologized and begged their boss not to kill both of them. Please don't kill us, we don't wanna die. You guys already know the consequences if you fail or make some mistake. Both of you also know that I am not the one who easily forgives people. I already set an example once to both of you by killing Kaz. He says that as he walks towards the table. We both truly sorry, but we didn't expect the guardsmen to patrol that area. They pleaded very hard to their boss as they didn't want to die. I already decided to kill both of you and I will not. He stops as he was looking straight at me. He then quickly picked me up and asked his underlings about where they found me. They quickly tell their boss that they found me on the streets after they barely managed to steal and escape from the noble mansion. I guess I will forgive you, worthless peoples, after all. He let out a grin. I could see his face very clearly as he looks me very closely. We are grateful for the chance, but may I ask, why did you forgive us, as you said earlier that I am indeed not the person who forgives people easily, but you guys did well bringing me this ring. He was so fascinated by me as he inspects me very closely. One of his underlings asks what's so special about the ring, as it was just an ordinary ring. The man then laughed and replied that this ring was the Athas ring. But it seems that his underlings still not understand completely what he was saying. I was also curious about what he was saying about me. Hi. This is Novel Admire. Thanks for the visit. Come back again for more novels.